On Larry King Now, he's a legend, Morgan Freeman.
If this London thing works, would you do number 3?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every successive one pays a little better.
Morgan,
Huh?
are you saying that you do some things for money?
Yes.
What do you make of it, personally?
I'm a big fan. Ever since I read his book, The Audacity of Hope, he's had me in his hip pocket. You know, whatever he needs, if I can provide it, he's got it. He knows it.
One of your fans wanted to ask about your love of marijuana, and another wants to know your favorite strain.
I'm not that much of a connoisseur, so I don't know what strains are. If you have some good smoke, try this. Yeah.
Plus, something you wish you were better at.
Acting.
Come on.
I'm telling you. No, I take the back. Golf.
All next on Larry King Now.
Welcome to Larry King Now. My guest today is truly one of the great actors of our time, Morgan Freeman, winner of an Oscar, SAG Award, Golden Globe, as well as a Kennedy Center honor. Morgan is a director, a producer, a narrator, and has played too many memorable roles and characters to list here. He reprises his role as Alan Trumbull in London Has Fallen, the sequel to 2013's highly successful Olympus Has Fallen. This time he's vice president. I saw the movie last night. This is an action-packed thriller that you freeze in your seats. You not go to the bathroom. What's it like to make a movie like this?
I'm not in any of the mess.
Correct. You are always
I'm just in a very quiet, safe.
In the safe room.
Yeah,
in the White House.
So I'm only hearing and trying to picture what my guy is doing.
So when you're doing those scenes, you're not talking to them, right?
No.
I mean, they're on the screen somewhere, but you're in the...
Right.
So what did you think when you saw the final film?
Haven't seen it. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Well, the scenes are unbelievable.
I keep hearing that, and I've seen the trailers, you know, and they look awesome.
I saw it last night. It is phenomenal. It is really
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you very much for
You're
telling
going
me
to
that.
enjoy it very much.
Good.
Angela had a rough time shooting in Bulgaria, cold weather, lying on the ground.
Been there, done that, hate it.
Why did you choose to do these films? What's the basis of your selection process?
Work. If it's work, and I'm not going to get hurt, and it's going to pay, I want to do it. I'm not that, you know, I don't get like a ton of scripts coming my way. Or if I do, well, if I do, I don't know about it because,
People screen them for you?
Yeah, my agency screens a lot of it. I get a lot of stuff to be asked to be.
So when they give it to you, it means they like it?
Yeah. I mean, they think this is worth us doing.
And do you usually agree?
Yes, I do.
Have you regretted ever turning down something?
Never. Never. I regretted not getting something that I auditioned for, maybe, or just wasn't thought of for, but I've never regretted turning down anything.
You have appeared in so many wonderful films. The Vegas film with De Niro and those guys.
Knockwood.
Jack Nicholson, working with him.
Yeah.
Bucket List and
Yeah.
all that. But whenever people mention Morgan Freeman, the one thing that first jumps out, and why, I want to ask you why you think it's forever, is Shawshank Redemption. Why do people see it 10 times?
None of us know. I mean, those of us who are in that movie, I couldn't tell you, Tim couldn't tell you, Frank Darabont couldn't tell you why this movie has such depth. I don't think Stephen King can tell you, and he wrote it. You know? Number one, it's probably one of the more offbeat love stories that's very, very deep. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on and on. And at the end, when those two old guys hook up again, the audience wants to stand up and cheer. Yeah, life is good.
Yeah, you get such joy. Did you realize making it that you were doing something special?
When I read the script, it was special. I told my agent I'd play any role, whatever. I didn't know because he didn't say read for this part. Just I read the script, that was it. And then I called and said, I'll play any role. And he said, they want you to play Red. Really?
All right, if this London thing works, they got Washington, they got London, supposing it's going to be Moscow or Paris or something, would you do number 3?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every successive one pays a little better.
Morgan, are you saying that you do some things for money?
Yes.
Morgan.
Huh?
It's an art.
Yes. But I don't want to die a pauper because art, you know. I mean, I was thinking about friends of mine like Modigliani, Van Gogh, Monet. Monet didn't die a pauper, but
Van Gogh did.
Yeah, Van Gogh did, and Modigliani did.
Yeah, but you're beyond pauperdom, aren't you?
Oh, well, yeah, but you know what the problem we have is living up to our income.
That's right.
Yeah.
More people to pay.
Yeah.
More homes to keep up.
Yeah, it's true.
Alimony, all those kind of things that go with the territory. Yeah. After all these years, do you still like watching yourself on screen?
I never liked watching myself on screen. It's not one of my favorite things to do ever.
Explain that. Why not?
I spent 20 years on the stage. On the stage, you only see yourself through the eyes of the audience, and you are really kicking butt, you know. I got this. I'm all over this role. But when you see yourself, or at least when I see myself, I'm not all over it. I'm just me, and I'm not hidden well enough. On stage, you can hide, you know, because it's all just psychic. If you can see yourself, then, you know, you're doing the same old cliche
Isn't
things.
the stage more rewarding?
Ultimately, yeah, instant gratification.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Would you go back and do theater?
No. I went back in '08 and did The Country Girl.
Great, that's a great.
It was a great play, and I was with great people, Peter Gallagher and Francis McDormand. But we three who do movies, we come on stage after about 3 weeks and go, why are we here?
But what if you got a great part?
Doesn't matter. I've had great parts. You know.
Well, you sure have. Morgan Freeman's our special guest. The movie is London Has Fallen. You will not be bored. It opens March 4th. We'll be right back. We're back with the great Morgan Freeman. You will see him as the Vice President of the United States in London Has Fallen. It will be a very successful movie to follow. Olympus Has Fallen. That was a surprise hit, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but you know, if you got enough action and you got a good-looking star and enough backup, it's almost a shoe-in.
Do you still enjoy the work?
I enjoy.
Money aside, do you enjoy it?
That's the only real reason to do it. You know, I don't need to go to work just because I get paid. I go to work because I've always wanted to do this.
As a kid?
As a little kid, yeah.
Did you used to play act when as a child?
Yeah, I won my first Best Acting Award in school. No, it was a statewide contest.
Young black men in 1950 don't win statewide awards in Mississippi, do they?
Yes. I mean, schools were segregated. You had your own things going on, you know.
Ray Charles told me once he went to a school for a blind and they segregated the classes.
Oh, yeah, well.
In Mississippi, that wasn't exactly the threshold of advancement.
Yes and no. It's where I came from.
You still love Mississippi?
I still live there. I moved back.
Wow. Yeah. All right, you like playing other. What's the kick of being God or a vice president or driving a lady around in a car or being a prisoner? What's the kick?
The kick of it all is having that eye looking at you doing it. I do it with ease. I've always been a natural actor. I was born to do this. So, you know, when you're a kid, it's, hey, look at me, look at what I can do, all right? And now I'm 78 years old. Hey, look at me, look at what I can do. It's still here.
Do you know you've done well?
In some, yes, yeah. I knew I was doing well in Driving Miss Daisy. And I did that on stage, and that was a huge hit in New York. And I thought I did well in Shawshank, and I thought I did well in Street Smart, and I thought I did well in $1 Million Baby.
That was a good.
Also, I think I did well in Invictus.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah,
I knew him very well.
wasn't he something?
Mr. Mandela, greatest figure, in my opinion, of the 20th century. What was it like to play him?
It was the most fun I've had. I was working with my favorite director, Clint Eastwood, and I tell you, when we shot the very last scene, everybody said, "Let's start over."
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It was just the most fun I've had.
What's special about working with Eastwood?
Gee, I think the first thing is he's speed. He just doesn't fool around. You got it, let's move on. Number two, he doesn't fool around with actors. He hires you to do the job, so he ain't doing it for you.
And so he respects the actor.
He respects the actor, yeah. And everybody who's ever worked with him come away with that feeling. This guy is tops.
What was it like to play God? You didn't list that as one of your memorable ones.
No, it wasn't, because, I mean, how do you play God? Who is God?
You just played him because I'm an agnostic. I don't know.
Yeah, well.
I bought it just because you were good.
Good. Well, I think that because I'm God, it's easy to do it.
Now let's talk about that voice. It's an imitated voice. In fact, someone did commercials as you, right? But was there a lawsuit there?
Well, no, not a lawsuit, just a request to stand down.
Have you always had that voice?
No. The voice started when I was in college, when my first efforts in officially learning the talent, the business of acting, how do you do it? That's not what you really should be trying to learn. You should just be trying to get your instrument honed, and part of your instrument is the voice. And I had an instructor, a man named Robert Whitten at LACC here, who nailed elocution, diction, breath control, all of that into his students. You made a record at the beginning of his class, and at the end of the class you made a record so you could hear the difference. First thing he does is he teaches you that your voice is too high. Most people speak with a tense throat, it's too high. So he gives you techniques on how to relax that, and your voice deepens. And then you just nailed diction.
Did you have a Southern accent?
Serious.
You must have.
Yes, it was bad. First time I stood up in his class and opened my mouth, he said, hold it. What's your name? And I said, it's Morgan Freeman. He said, it's not Stephen Fetcher? And we go, okay, get serious.
Do you remember what you sounded like?
No.
London Has Fallen opens March 4th. We'll be right back. We're back with Morgan Freeman, who could truly be called a great artist. Olympus Has Fallen was a successful hit, and now we have London Has Fallen, and it's going to march right in foot. It's going to be a Lollapalooza. Do you care about box office receipts?
Sure.
You follow them?
No. Somebody does.
But they tell you?
Yeah.
Okay, has Hollywood changed a lot since?
Oh, since I was a kid?
since you started in the business here?
A lot. I don't think it's changed a lot.
Did
It's
you go to
just
work for
moved.
a major movie company when they brought you out? You came from theater out here?
Yeah, Warner Brothers. I think it was one of the first movies, first three movies I did were Warner Brothers movies. You know, Shawshank Redemption was Castle Rock, but Warner Brothers was the distributor. And Lean on Me, Warner Brothers.
What was your first movie?
Gee whiz, my first movie, believe it or not, was in 1969 with Jack Klugman in a movie called, variously, Pony, P period O period NY, you know, Pony. It's about these kids trying to save a draft horse in their parents' apartments.
Klugman was a great
And
guy.
he was. And he liked my work so much that he kept rewriting the script to keep me in it, which I thought was, okay, that's
What do you
great.
think about all these diversity issues in Hollywood now?
Well, I'm not quite sure that there is a diversity issue. The fact that there was no blacks nominated for an Academy Award, okay, fine. There's many years when there aren't, but you know, there were no Asians either. You know? I think if we're going to talk about diversity in the movies, let's not talk about the Academy Awards. That's an outcome. That's the end line. We need to go way, way back. We need to go back to people who are making the movies,
The directors,
the directors, the producers, and the people who are behind the camera. I don't see nobody black behind the camera in here. That kind of thing. You know, it's not the Academy Award.
It's endemic.
Yeah.
Actors say that to find a role, you have to like the person. Is that true?
Oh yes, yes.
No
You
matter
have
what
to be able to sympathize with the character.
So no matter if you're playing have you ever played evil people?
Once,
Who was, I can never remember you being bad.
then you didn't see Street Smart.
No, Street Smart I did not see.
Yeah.
Who were you in Street
I
Smart?
was a pimp. I was a face-cutting, killing pimp,
Was that easy for you?
like falling off a log. When I auditioned, Jerry Schotzenberg was the director, and I auditioned in a role where I'm threatening to put a woman's eye out, and she has to choose which one. So Joy Todd was the casting agent, and I used her as the girl. And Jerry saw it. He said, "You've done this before."
How about the Vegas movies? We're going to do another one?
If one materializes, absolutely.
What was it like? I was with you guys in
Oh, yes, in Vegas.
Oh, what a group that was. Did you have, that had to be fun.
That was fun. Turtle Taub was such a great guy to work with. He's fun, just funny himself. You know, he understands humor. It takes a great punch because, you know, I'm a puncher.
You enjoy comedy?
I enjoy every it. It doesn't matter to me what it is. And it was
Well,
working
you
with.
love this. You got a whole scene
I do.
going.
I do.
And the money ain't bad.
The money's damn good.
We'll be back with our remaining moments with Morgan Freeman. London Has Fallen will open March 4th, and it's going to last a while, too. We'll be right back. We're back with our remaining moments with Morgan Freeman. Wish we had all day with him. He's one of my favorite people. By the way, did you have dinner with President Obama this week?
Yeah, last night.
Oh, last night.
Yeah.
Where'd you eat?
A place called BLT.
BLT.
Yeah, in Washington.
I've spent some time with him. He did my last show. He was very nice. What do you make of President Obama?
Oh, I'm a big fan. Ever since I read his book, The Audacity of Hope, he's had me in his hip pocket. You know, whatever he needs, if I can provide it, he's got it. He knows it.
What was he talking about at dinner?
Oh, we don't much talk shop at situations like this. There's a lot of people. And we were there, there was a bunch of us there to start helping him design the Obama
Library.
Center. We're not going to call it a library. It's going to be called the Obama Center.
You smile when you say it's not going to be a library. I mean, it's going to be a little different.
Yeah, he's anxious to make it so that when people visit, they come away with maybe a little incentive to take part in the process more.
So not like visiting a museum.
Right.
You're also executive producer of Madam Secretary. What a hell of a show that is. She's great.
Oh, isn't she? Oh, love that woman.
Boy, is that a good. Are you an active executive producer?
No, I wouldn't call myself an active executive producer. I got other things going on, and my producing partner, Laurie McCreary, does the heavy lifting.
It's a great show.
Yeah, glad you like it.
We have some social media questions. Hampton BHW tweets, what would you say has been your greatest challenge in life?
I don't know. I'd have to give that a lot of thought.
You don't have to answer. It's not a court. The Siebert wants to know the favorite part of your day.
Well, I'm a night person.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. So dinner and after.
Susan Stewart on Facebook. You've played many kind and compassionate characters. Where does that come from? Having compassionate role models or knowing what it's like not to be treated that way?
Wow. Well, all of that. Yeah. Having good role models is. I had an incredible line of teachers growing up, and my mom was my grandmother. I'm a ladies' man. It's most of my life is outstanding women and a few outstanding men.
You like women?
A lot.
Me too. Carl Mann asks, how's your bee sanctuary? And would you blame Monsanto for making Roundup or the government for their lax rules on pesticides?
Both. There's been a frightening loss of bee colonies, particularly in this country. I don't know about around the world, but to such an extent that the scientists are now saying this is dangerous. About the canary in the mine. Methane gas builds up in coal mines, and because the canary's respiratory system is the breathing is so rapid, they will keel over first. So then get out of the mine because your bird has died. Well, that proliferates around the planet. When the canary dies, you're in trouble. Well, we got thousands and thousands of species of animals that are disappearing because of what we're doing.
One of your fans wanted to ask about your love of marijuana, and another wants to know your favorite strain.
I'm not that much of a connoisseur, so I don't know what strains are. If you have some good smoke, try this. Yeah.
You think it's going to be legal everywhere?
Yeah, I do.
It ought to be.
Yeah, it has to be. They can't continue to say that it's a dangerous drug when it's safer than alcohol.
It's a lot safer.
Yeah.
All right, we throw some quick questions at you. What's your guilty pleasure?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, what keeps you up at night?
Television.
You're up at night.
Yeah, television.
What's on your bucket list?
I'd like to get a Best Movie Academy Award.
What do you mean?
Best film. My company produces a best film.
You want the best film of the year?
Yeah.
You don't have to be in it.
No, I don't have to be in it.
A secret talent we don't know about.
No, I don't think so. I think my life's pretty much a book.
Someone you haven't worked with you'd love to work with.
Yeah. Anybody I haven't.
Best piece of advice you ever got?
Don't look for trouble.
Something you wish you were better at?
Acting.
Come on.
I'm telling you. No, I take the back. Golf.
Anything you regret?
regret. Regrets are evolutionary thing. By that I mean they evolve. You regret something today, and 15 years down the line, 10 years down the line, you realize it wasn't something to regret.
What can we say? It's just, I love being in your presence.
You're an awesome, awesome person. I don't know why you're still here.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Larry.
Thanks to my guest, the great Morgan Freeman. London Has Fallen hits theaters March 4th. As always, you can find me on Twitter at King's Things, and I'll see you next time.